I don't know about you guys, but I always felt like I was at the wrong place at the wrong time. And, it's just like, you know, it was totally out of my control. And I felt it. I felt like I cannot do nothing about this, because I try to work it out, and just doesn't want to happen. And, like the other day, I was at my job, and, you know, and I was gonna ask my coworker like about something that about a part that he had in his bay, and I told him like, hey bro, can you give me the part? And then he was like, yeah, I'll show you. And then right at that moment, there's my other coworker who doesn't speak English. He had his phone in his hand, and he was telling him like, hey bro, can you translate this for me and all that. I'm like, oh, I was like, what the hell? Like, he couldn't wait for like 30 seconds until he gives me the part, and then he will come. But no, it's just like right at that moment, right before he will give me the part. And he was on the phone for like 30 freaking minutes. And I was waiting, and I'm waiting, wasting my time. And I got frustrated, man. I was like, damn, like, why is this shit happening? You know? And, you know, um, back in 2018, I was, I got into a really bad accident, and I had to go to a chiropractor for checkups and all that. And I seen a girl over there that was working, and she seemed like kind of interested in me, and at first I was like, I wasn't really trying to push it, like I wasn't trying to be like creepy and all that. So I was like, at first I was trying to like be cool with her, first couple days, and or first couple of times of visiting the clinic. And then one day I was like, you know what? It's a perfect opportunity, you know, to ask for a number. And then, you know, I was about to head out, and she was like, if you want, you can wait for me. I was like, yeah, sure, I'll wait for you. And right at that moment, I was walking out, and she was walking out with me, and all of a sudden, this older lady, that was working in the same place, she called her. She was like, hey, 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 come here, come here, come here. I need you. I need you to do something for me. And she went back, and I was like, God damn, man. I was like, what the hell? Like, I was so pissed, but I was like, you know what? Maybe her stuff is gonna take like few minutes, so I'm just gonna go to a parking lot and chill for a while, until she comes back. She comes out. I was there for like 45 minutes, and she didn't come out. And after that, the next visit, I never seen her again. That was so frustrating, man. That was super frustrating. And I got really mad. I was like, damn, man. Like, am I being so unlucky, or I'm just like, or it's just, I'm always at the wrong, I'm not always at the wrong place at the wrong time, Like, it's never, every time something good wants to happen to me, like, all of a sudden, just, I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's the curse. I don't know if it's the spirit. I don't know if it's some kind of a like force that doesn't want like me to succeed in life, and it really really boggles me, and for somebody like me especially, I rarely get lucky on everything, as far as women, as far as life, as far as job opportunities, as far as friends. Like I rarely get lucky on those aspects, on every aspects of my life, as a matter of fact. And it really sucks when one opportunity presents after like a very long period of time and it just like blows up in your face, and I think like there's nothing worse than that, because like you'll be like, finally I can catch a break, and then the universe or this word is like pulling you, it's like grabbing you and pulling you and strapping you, telling you like, oh, you ain't going nowhere. That was just a tease, you know. And it's like every time a good thing happens to me, it's like a mirage in a desert, you know you run for the water and then you find out like there's no water in there. And that's just been my whole life, honestly. And seems like I can never catch a break from it. Like, I think like everybody in their lifetime, at least they have to get lucky at least once in their lifetime, because life is pretty short, man. Like, life is pretty short. And then when you get older, like, you're done. There is no more, like, what do you want to do, like, when you're like 50 or 55, like, to get an opportunity? Like, at that point it's too late, bro. But if like you didn't have women your whole life and all of a sudden like some woman shows you interest when you're 57, like, you're telling yourself like those things should happen like freaking 30 something years ago, but it happens now. And that's something that I'm really thinking. I'm like, what is this? Like, is this like, and I come to the conclusion that it's just like it's a curse, man, or it's just a force. It's just a curse or a force, and I can't really figure it out. But I'm going through it my whole life, And another thing that happened the other day was that I went to the bank and I try to just freaking pay my rent and go home, because I literally went out just to pay my rent and come home. And it was my turn, and there was this freaking girl at the window all of a sudden, like she helped out somebody else right before me, and then after, when it was my turn, she looked at me and she closed the window and she went to do something else. And I saw her like in the back. She was chit chatting with her coworkers and drinking some coffee. And like the other cashiers, they were like super busy. They were busy with other customers, and one of them, actually, there was an issue with their card or something. So they were trying to resolve. So that took like a while. And then there was another guy that was helping this other guy, and for whatever reason they start having this conversation, like, they start talking about this stuff, like, yeah, bro, yeah, my wife bought me this the other day, yeah. And then he was like, yeah, I know, my wife bought me. I'm like, dude, you have to do your job and help. You don't see the freaking line. But it was just my turn, and those stuff happened. The girl just left the window. The other lady was on the was like, for another cashier, and she had a issue with her credit card and she couldn't get it resolved. And there's these freaking two guys, they were talking to each other like they just like old high school buddies. They were seeing each other after a while. And I was so pissed, bro. I was so pissed because I was like, you know what, the weather is good, it's not too hot or something. and I finally want to like pay my rent and go home and chill, and I have to wait here for like God knows how long until these fools are done. And it was right on my turn, you know. I don't know, man. It's just so damn frustrating. And the other day, it's just so many instincts, like so many, bro. I'm telling you, so many freaking, so many instances that I can't even. It's gonna take years until I'm finished, like telling my stories. All these bad stuff. Of like me being at the wrong place at the wrong time. You know, but the other day I went to In and Out, and I was kind of hungry, and I just like, you know what? I'm gonna go get some In and Out, and just you know find some parking lot, start eating and all that. I went to the driveway. It was a big ass line, and I waited there, and it looks like there was nobody behind me. Like the funny thing is, like, imagine you're at the In and Out and there's nobody behind you. Like there's no car is actually behind you when you're in the driveway. That was kind of weird. Like that was so weird. I was like, what the hell? And so I went there. I went on a drive day. I went on a driveway. I said driveways. My bad, guys. It's drive through, and I went to the drive through, and I see the car in front of me. Got his order, and he left. And then as soon as I wanted to get mine, the guy was like, "Sorry, we're not serving anymore due to like we have like a party and all that stuff." I'm like, "Dude, you could have take my order and get over it, but instead you just making excuses to like turn me around and waiting all those time and making me wait to turn around and not give me any orders." I'm like, like I was so pissed. I was like, what the hell? Like, I was so the ending. He was like, "Oh, I'm sorry, man. I'm sorry. Like, it's just a randomist." I'm like, dude, come on. You could have like take my order at least. I waited all this freaking time on this line. And if anybody goes to In and Out, that shit is long, man. If you're in a drive-through, you're gonna wait there for like for a long time, man. And yeah, man, I was so disappointed. I was hungry. So the funny thing is, I was like, you know what? F it. I'm gonna go to McDonald's. I'm gonna go to McDonald's and get some ice cream. So I went to McDonald's on the driveway, and I was like, hey, I want some cone ice cream. Cone ice cream. And then that girl told me like, oh, sorry, our machine stopped working for the ice cream. I'm like, what? This is like 2 for 2. That's like literally 2 for 2, bro. 2 L's in one day. Not even like minutes apart. I was so pissed when I came home. I was depressed, man. I was laying on the bed. I was like looking at the ceiling. I'm like, God damn, man. Like, I'm always at the wrong place at the wrong time. Like, how come it doesn't happen to anybody else, man? And I was looking, I was like, damn, like, everybody's like prospering. Everybody's like going through like life with on easy mode, And when it comes to me, it's like somebody's watching me and make sure like nothing works out for me. It's just this force. It's just like, I don't know, man. I don't know what it is, but it bothers me so much. It bothers me a lot. Like, why can't I have a chance in this life? Like, why can't I just go about something like smoothly? Even the most littlest things. The most littlest things has to be like pulling a concrete out of a ground. And I don't know. I don't think I can take it anymore, man. I'm getting pissed. I'm just like I'm losing my patience, and I'm just like, I don't want to lose my mind, but with all these stuff that happened to me, it's like the whole universe is like fucking with me, bro. The whole world is like fucking with me. It's like, oh, it's this guy. Oh, make sure something happens. Make sure like you throw stones at him. Make sure you throw stones at his on his way so he doesn't like get through life. He doesn't make sure nothing good happens to him. It's like always this blockage for me, always these obstacles in front of me, always. And some people say like, oh, because you're negative, that's why all this bad shit happens. I'm like, no, it's not because of that. There are a bunch of like negative people living great lives. That's not true. But I don't know, man. I don't want to make this video for too long, but it's just so frustrating living this life that nothing works out. Like nothing like goes through as plans, as planned. And nothing goes through as like the way you want. And every time something wants to happen, some great thing wants to happen, it just blows up in your face, you know. And I don't know if any of you guys are like relating to this, but you know, you guys feel free to let me know in the comments, if any of these things happen to you or you guys have a similar experience, let me know in the comments.